there, clodhoppers. While Malachi is watching Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood on Amazon Prime, I'm going to go ahead and share with you a little bit about why we didn't get a video up yesterday. No big deal. We just had a really busy day. And it was a good day. We got a lot accomplished and we were able to work on it together, which is really cool because I know with me being sick so much lately, Justin's had a lot on his plate. So, on St. Patrick's Day, which was yesterday, we went to the recycling center and got some more wood chips. Now this time we actually concentrated on getting more of the broken down chips, so stuff that was more like dirt than we did the wood chips themselves. I had another project I wanted to start. Yes, I'm sure Justin was like, another project? So we needed some dirt for that, and I'm just too cheap to go pay the price for organic potting soil or gardening mix at the stores, especially for a project that was the size that that I wanted to work on. So we went to that recycling center and got stuff from the back of the pile, which has been breaking down for several years. Before I show you the project, I just couldn't resist coming into the garden space for a little bit. I think Justin showed y'all some of the seedlings that are coming up from seeds that we've planted within the last 2 or 2.5 weeks. So we're really excited about that. And I'm excited that we had some rain last night. We've been watering our seedlings, but we haven't really been watering the garlic. And as you can tell, the garlic is not super duper happy. We've got bottom leaves turning yellow. So I'm hoping this natural rainwater will help perk it up. If not, I may need to go online, see if there's a soil amendment that maybe we need to add to kind of help out with that. If any of you have an idea of what it could be, please leave it in the comments and we will check that out and see if that helps it. And these are the peas that we planted, so that's cool. And then here are some of the beans that we planted. And these are supposed to be, I believe, a trailing pea. So that's why I planted them around the old okra plants, hoping that the beans will, or peas will use that as a trellis system. We'll see if it works. I figured it was worth an experiment one time. Look what I saw yesterday. Our wild blackberries are blooming. Yay! So that means I'll get to be picking some wild blackberries soon, which is awesome because I love using those in our kefir smoothies, which is something we're going to have to start doing again. We've gotten kind of lax over the winter. I also wanted to mention that our pears finally bloomed this week. A lot of the blossoms have already fallen, and now the trees are starting to leaf out, which is pretty impressive that that's happened basically over a week. But the Bradford pears were blooming last week, or at least last weekend. And I was like, man, our pears haven't bloomed yet. But now they have. So we'll be getting a crop of those this year too. So we kind of figured the chickens would end up getting into this area, but that's why we put this plastic lattice. Eventually I'd like to be able to take that plastic lattice down and use it as an actual trellis for vining plants, which was the original intention when we bought it at an estate sale. But we knew that without putting something up, the chickens would just take this bedding, I'll call it, that we put down yesterday and just scatter it everywhere. It would not stay in this area if we didn't put something up. Now, we realize that some of the bedding can still come through the holes in the lattice, but it's still going to be much more contained than if we hadn't done it. We haven't gotten a doorway on this side, and we do want to do that at some point, but, you know, a small spot for the chickens to scrape out isn't as big of a deal as if they were just to take that whole section and dig through. And we did find 2 scorpions in there, so it's probably a good thing to let the chickens scratch through it. And this area right here is, or was, a compost pit that I built whenever I first got here. So the dirt there is actually really fertile, but the chickens like to use it as a dust bath, so every time I try to plant stuff there, it wouldn't be able to come up. I think we had one watermelon come up, but it didn't do much of anything because it just kept getting disturbed, I think, too much. So I decided it was time to take that down and just use it for something else. And eventually I'd like to use this whole area to grow garden food. So what was the purpose of doing this? What was my idea? Well, we have struggled really bad with tall weeds growing over here. You can kind of see some of the weeds in the swimming pool, but we have snake root that has grown here. You can also see down here just this weed that's pretty invasive, and it's hard to get out once it gets a foothold. I try to keep up with it in the spring and dig it out if I can, but as you can see, it's just plentiful and it's hard to keep up with, and it's not easy to pull up. So I figured if we put cardboard down and then covered it with some dirt, maybe that would help smother it out some. So the idea is to use the Ruth Stout method of growing potatoes, where you put hay or some sort of mulch, and we're planning on using leaves to cover the potatoes and build up a mound over the potato as the plant grows, so that the potatoes will grow into that mulch instead of going down as far to build the tubers underground. But in order to do that, we needed some soil, because we had to put cardboard down to try to suppress the heavy weed pressure we have right here. So we shall see how that goes. We do have potatoes already. We got some at TSC about a week ago that have some eyes, and we need to cut them and let them heal over maybe for a night or two. So hopefully this week we'll be able to get those potatoes in, well, like on the ground, not necessarily in the ground so much. And then we'll be able to put some leaves on there. I think we still have some in some of our compost tumblers, and if not, we still have some in the composting pit that we can steal from that and put on the potatoes. We may also try to plant the onion sets that we got from TSC in this area. Those shouldn't really need mulch, and I think the soil is rich enough that it should sustain the growth of the onions. But let's check it out real quick. So as you can see, there are quite a bit of wood chips, but there's also definitely dirt there. That's why we take that extra effort to go back to the back of that pile to get the organic matter that's already broken down pretty well. Part of the reason we like it this way is if you use just straight up wood chips, your carbon is sequestered. But by having a good mixture, we're hoping that we still get the mulching benefits to an extent of the wood chips, but then we also get the benefit of the dirt that has already broken down from such a lush organic matter. And hopefully it's very absorbent of water and will retain the water. So we'll keep y'all updated on how all that goes. We may or may not be able to video when we actually do the plantings. We'll probably try, but it'll kind of depend on if we're having to plant in the rain. Right now it's actually spitting a little, drizzling. So if we can, we'll try, because we want to bring you along on our projects. Thank y'all so much, and y'all have a blessed day.
Hey Cloud Hoppers, thanks for watching the video. Push the thumbs up to like the video. Also hit that subscribe button, also the bell, so that you can get notifications when our videos come out.
Check us out on our social media pages too. We have Facebook and Pinterest, and soon we'll have Instagram. The links are below. Bye y'all!
Bye! Good job.